The fact that my poppy matches my outfit today, oh, yes, should get me extra credit points if I do say so myself. 10 out of 10. I have such a fun video planned today. Honestly, to say that I'm excited would be a lie, because today we're gonna be going back to Goodreads. Remember when I did a video of me reading 1-star reviews to my 5-star books? Yeah, well today we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna read 5-star reviews to my 1-star books. I don't know how I feel about that, because there are some books that I have such strong feelings about not liking that I feel like if I'm gonna read a 5-star review to that book, I'm just gonna rage. But you know what? That is why book opinions are subjective. So if one of the books that I mentioned today that I did not like and you did, that is good for you. I love that journey for you. It just wasn't my journey, okay? But I do love that for you. And clearly there's other people that love that book too, so maybe it's just me. So we're gonna be going in with an open mind here, and we're honestly just gonna have fun with it, because that's the only option we have here. Without further ado, let's get into it. Load my Goodreads app, and bear with me, it will take me like 30 freaking ages to get on this app. One thing I don't understand, how are the creators of this app unable to make it faster? Like, why is this app so slow? Somebody, please. You know, I do really want to use Fable. It's cute, but I feel like nobody really uses Fable. Everybody uses Goodreads, and who am I if not a follower? So there's that. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming. I feel like to make this fair, we're gonna do every book that I rated 3 and below, because I used to have a rating where like 3 stars for me was not that great. Like right now, I feel like 3 stars is pretty decent, but before, every single time I would rate a book 3 stars is like when I absolutely did not like it. So 3 stars and below is kind of what we're looking for. We're gonna start off with a strong contender here. We have The Cruel Prince. I know you guys, like this is one of the most popular BookShock books, blah 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 blah. 2 stars, that's what I gave it. And here is my review to it. I said I was gonna DNF at 20% in, but decided to see it through, thinking that I will start caring at some point. Well, spoiler alert, I didn't care. The whole book was about nothing at all. What I read can be summarized in 2 pages, maybe less. No character development, no plot really, and definitely no banter or anything of the sorts. Boring. And that's on that. I know this book is highly loved because on Goodreads it has 4.02 stars. Let's read these. We're looking only for 5 stars. I need to find reviews of people that think of this book as like their god tier books. This one is really long, so I'm gonna read only some of it. Absolutely love this read. A wondrous fantasy novel that is easy to get invested in. So many great plot twists and high intensity, suspenseful moments. I kid you not, I do not remember a single plot twist. Like, this person really seems like they got into this book right away, and I finished it and I still couldn't care less. Oh my god, someone said, "What is this beauty? Someone please revive me because I am dead from the awesomeness of this book. If you want to read a masterpiece of character and story, look no further." And that ending, oh my fucking god. My review is not doing the book justice. Read it immediately. You'll be grateful that you did. Oh, here is the thing. Someone needs to revive me because I am dead from how boring that book was. But great for this person. It seemed like they really did love it, I guess. I really don't understand what plot people are talking about. Maybe I like missed the plot. Also, now that I'm looking at these reviews, all the 5-star reviews are from a long time ago. All the recent ones are not that good. Like the one that I just read was from 7 years ago. Okay, this one is really interesting. I'm shook. This book is the Game of Thrones of the Fae world, and it is even more brutal and shocking than anyone could possibly imagine. I cannot recommend this one enough. It is absolutely my favorite book of the year so far. I cannot wait to read this. You know, now that she said this, I feel like I remember going on TikTok and complaining that everybody was dead and I didn't know a single character anymore because all of them just died. And I was like confused of who even was left in that book. Nothing about that was giving me Game of Thrones though. Okay, I think I'm done with this one. We have to move on to, what I would say is another, actually I feel like all of these will irk some people. I for some reason tend to hate on like the most popular book talk books, and I don't know what it, like, is it me? Am I the problem? Probably. We have, get ready for this, moment of silence. Divine Rivals. I'm sorry. My rating says 3.5. I think that was very generous. I would go as far as give this book 2 stars. They fell in love over letters. Get the fuck out. 5 stars. The most beautiful, heartbreaking, and bewitching story. The only heartbreaking thing about this was that he didn't buy her a sandwich. Remember that one scene where she didn't have money for a sandwich and a water, and he just didn't give her the money for the sandwich and the water? I didn't like that. And another heartbreaking thing is the ending, but it's also not heartbreaking. It actually pissed me the fuck off, which is why I never read book 2. Oh, here it is. 5 stars. Screaming, crying, throwing up. That ending, I am not okay. Neither am I. I just did a reread and I think the ending hurt worse the second time. I mean, I don't think the ending hurt me. I just think I was really pissed at her, and I was like, if he takes her back after that, no. Get the fuck out. Infinity out of 5 stars. And they start with a quote. You are worthy of love. You are worthy to feel joy right now, even in the darkness. And just in case you're wondering, I'm not going anywhere unless you tell me to leave. And even then, we might need to negotiate. I mean, I've read cuter. Okay, this one, straight to the point. Wait, this is kind of the best book of all time. It's giving nothing. Are you screaming, crying, and throwing up? Or is it kinda the best book of all time? Or kinda not? I needed more oomph to that 5-star review. Infinity stars, once again. This book is actually a masterpiece, a freaking masterpiece, all caps. I am so in love with Iris and Roman and everything else about this book. The exquisite writing, the beautiful messages, the storyline, everything. It made me laugh, it made me giggle, it made me smile, it made me so happy, but it also shattered my heart in a million pieces. You see? I feel like where people got the heartbreak, I got the ick. I think that was the whole issue. Every moment people found cute and adorable, I got an ick once again. Moving on, we have Den of Vipers, which is, I am so surprised that I did not like this book. And I think I DNF'd it, or did I finish it? Maybe I finished it. I think by the end of it, I was like skimming through pages because I was so bored. Hear me out. I gave it 3 stars because there was no plot in the book, and the book is like 700 pages or something. It's thick. It was filled with spice, and I know you're like, Yana, that's like really good, and yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, when I read the reviews on Goodreads before I was reading this book, I was like, everybody was rating it low because they were like, no plot, all spice, boring. I was like, that shit will keep me entertained. But no, it didn't. Like the spice, it was just like repetitive. I was tired of reading about spice all the time. Like I needed some plot to it. And the FMC gave me a major ick. Like I did not like her. I kind of liked her at the beginning, and then the further their relationship progressed, the more I was like, no. Okay, it's very difficult to find 5-star ratings for this one. The audiobook was enjoyable. Audio was perfect. It delivered the kind of mafia romance I craved. The characters were well written and thoughtfully developed, and I appreciate the multiple perspective that added depth to the story. The author did a fantastic job of making each of the 4 men distinctly different from one another, which kept things fresh and engaging. So maybe if I listened to it in an audiobook version, I would have been happier because I could have been doing other things while listening/reading this book. The depth of the characters was only explored in the quite literal sense, not in the actual character development sense. I'll tell you that right now. Roxy is very independent, but the things she kept saying in the book, I was not having it. Contrary to what people say, Den of Vipers is amazing. I enjoyed every second of it, even through it's gory and extremely violent. I actually enjoyed this a lot, but I do wish that she ended up going back to the bar. But I love Den of Vipers. It's good and hits all the dark mafia romance categories. It was dark, more than enough steamy, and enjoyable because it actually had some good plot. I think I missed the plot because I feel like there was 0 plot. I mean, sure, I might have to take 1,000 showers after this, but I seriously enjoyed myself. It was fun at the beginning, and then it got real repetitive real fast. I feel like especially after you read some really good dark mafia romances, this one becomes even worse. 5 stars. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people not liking this or DNFing it. Not gonna lie, though, I kinda loved it. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty much smut the whole way through, but I actually enjoyed reading it as I could essentially switch off and have fun with it rather than try to keep up with a complex plot. Speaking of the plot, there isn't one. I agree. You see, we're on the same page, but you gave it 5 stars and I gave it 3. It's more of a rough outline, but it works. If I was to sum up the plot, it would basically be she gets sold to a gang, she hates them at first, over time grows attached to them, and they all live happily at the end. And that's all there is. Yes, I'm confused about this one. I do think the book was about 100 pages too long, but that's the least of my worries, because I know I need therapy, an exorcism, a nap, after what I just experienced with this weird ass, dark ass, gross ass, awesome ass book. Okay, so which one is it? Which one is it? Because it's giving undecided. This psychotic ass book. This was hands down the craziest book I have ever read to date. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time reading it, but literally, what the fuck? This is 5-star reviews. I feel like these reviews are giving like 2 stars, but no, they're 5 stars. This book was the equivalent of Riverdale having fucking multiverses. No, I will not expand on that. I am not one to normally question crazy shit in books, matter of fact. I love the crazy shit, but the way some scenes were described, I couldn't help saying this seems a bit unsanitary. So it's giving like a little backhanded compliment. Like half of these reviews are I'm giving it 5 stars, but I will go and shit on it. But I digress. Okay, this next one pains me quite a lot. We have Taming 7. I gave it 3 stars. And listen, this book just flopped for me. Flopped so hard in comparison to the rest of the Boys of Tommen series, to the point where I don't even consider Taming 7 part of the Boys of Tommen because I can't. Boys of Tommen is like my Roman Empire. Meanwhile, Taming 7 is 3 stars. So the rating on Goodreads, overall rating on Goodreads is 4.26 stars, which is quite high. Infinity out of 5 stars, Claire and Gypsy are everything. But can we talk about the fact that we got more of Lizzie and Huey? Is that his name? Anyway, we got more of Lizzie than Claire in that book. And I stand by that. I agree with this review. 5 stars. I'm giving it 5 because it's Boys of Tommen. Agreed. But Gypsy and Claire need justice. Half of the damn book was focused on Lizzie's crap when she's going to get her own damn book. And there's still so much more that could be dived into for another book about Gibbs and Claire. The main couple got overshadowed with other people's drama, and I am not standing for it. Gibbs deserves more. Justice for Gypsy. This is not okay. My poor Gerard. And relationships stayed exactly the freaking same. The only growth was the Gypsy troubles got thrown into the mix, and even then, stagnant. They deserve so much more than this book. I absolutely agree. I was like debating on just giving it 5 stars because Boys of Tommen, but I can't do that. Shut the fuck up. I didn't think that Taming 7 would top Redeeming 6, but it did. 6 stars if I could. This book is everything to me and more. You're telling me that you like Taming 7 more than Redeeming 6? This has to be rage bait. I feel disrespected. That is disrespectful to Redeeming 6. I can't even, I'm not even going there. I'm not going there. Okay, and that's literally pretty much all the 5-star reviews. The rest of the 5-star reviews say how hard they cried over this book. Like this one says, I've never sobbed so hard in my whole life. Literally same, I've never sobbed so hard because a book disappointed me so much. Moving on to obviously another TikTok sensation, if I do say so myself, Emily Henry. I think Emily Henry is just not my author. Like, I just don't love her. Anything she writes, I don't like it. And I think it's because she has a certain type of writing, like a certain style, and I just don't fuck with it. We have Emily Henry, funny story, 2 stars. My review says, I took about 5 naps during this book, and that's on that. Anyway, let's see what people liked about this mid-ass book with mid-ass man. Sorry, that was like really uncalled for. I take it back. I don't. One of the reviews says 5 stars, girl dinner. I'm not sure what that means, but go off. Beach Read and Happy Place have my heart, but now so does this book. I love Miles and Daphne so much. I hated Beach Read and Happy Place, so this checks out. Maybe Emily's Henry's best book. She somehow just keeps getting better and better. Or maybe I just really love this fake dating, forced proximities, opposites attract, friends to lovers setup. And she nails it, like well and truly creates flawed, realistic characters that don't always click, but their chemistry is off the charts. So they try to make it work and it gets messy in the process, just like life. You see, I do agree with that. I feel like Emily Henry writes very believable romances, and personally I think when I'm trying to read a romance, like give me some shit that I don't see in real life, because I read books to like escape, not to compare. So I want to read something that I just don't experience in real life, you know? So that does make sense to me why I don't like these books. This amount of tears does not accompany anything below a 5-star read. Okay, I fear I did not shed a single tear. Funny story? Yeah, no, there's nothing funny about how this book ripped my heart out. Emily Henry, why did you create a main character who perfectly mirrors my thoughts and fears? I felt so seen. I was terrified. Another thing, I feel like why people love Emily Henry's because they could connect with her characters, and I think that's what makes her books amazing to people. But once again, I do not connect with any of her characters. That's why she's just not for me. Next we have The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Lori Gilmore. I gave it 3 stars, and I also have a very strong opinion about this one because it literally irks the shit out of me. 5 stars. I loved the first book so much, so I had to get this one. It was so cute. I loved Hazel and Noah so much. They were too cute. Fall small town romances are honestly the best book ever because they hit so hard and it just made me so happy. I'm excited for the Christmas tree farm. Loved. This is where I have a bone to pick with people that review books like this. She said, fall small town romances. This book is not set in fall. The book is set in the summer and they're going into fall, and when they're actually in fall, it is the last chapter of the book. That's when fall starts. The entire time, it's summertime. There's nothing fucking cozy and fall about it. And that's why I absolutely hated this book, because when you name a book The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore and you put a fucking fall leaves on the cover and then you set it in the summer, we have a problem. I don't give many books 5 stars, especially romance books, just because they aren't my favorite genre, but this story melted my heart. I was instantly obsessed with Noah. The confidence bordering on arrogance gets me every time. Probably something I need to discuss in therapy. Same. But what really got me is his gesture for Hazel towards the end. If you know, you know. I mean, come on, how could you not love it? Yes, it was cheesy. Yes, it was predictable, but it was so sweet and quite spicy. Don't judge the book by its cover. You see, I did judge the book by its cover. I thought it was gonna be a fall book, and it wasn't. But I also don't think it was that spicy at all. But I obviously read a lot of other spicy books, which is why I probably thought it wasn't as spicy as the rest. Definitely better than Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I really like this. More spice too, if that's what you're looking for. I loved Pumpkin Spice Cafe way more than this book, just saying. And if you're actually looking for a fall book, then you should read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. That one's cute. Okay, I saved the best for last because how could I not? We have Deep End by Ollie Hazelwood. I'm telling you, I literally hate the most controversial books. Like, I'm sorry. And this one was actually my most recent 1-star read, so I still remember a lot of the plot, unfortunately. Oh, ready to get soaking wet post-read thoughts. Clean up on aisle me. This one was a real moist maker. Grab a bucket and a mop, set up the wet floor sign. This is everything 50 Shades thought it was, and also they have the stamina of Olympic athletes. This book was nothing close to 50 Shades. They were 50 Shades of mellow, 50 Shades of mild. Let's not go there. I have 551 highlights from this 400-page book. Did you highlight the whole thing? Ollie Hazel will take my golden retriever, my firstborn, my soul. Nothing will be payment enough for this treasure of a book. This book was so steamy. Debatable. The dominant submissive roles were so well done and so hot. Their chemistry and connection is so good right from the very start, and it's all balanced with the most genuine, trusting, caring connection they build that is so unique to them. So Are we just gonna forget the little love triangle that was happening the entire book? Are we just gonna like skip that one over and not talk about it? Because there was definitely a love triangle happening. But anyway, that's none of my business anymore. I fear I will never read anything so good ever again. Ollie's in her own realm as a romance author, and I'm so glad I get to exist in the same time as her so I can read every single fucking masterpiece she puts out. This is the best work yet. 10 out of 10, no notes. I would argue that you could read some good books still. Really, I promise. I love that you loved it, but I'm telling you right now, there's some good ones out there. Should have been called Wet. So fun, so cute, nice and spicy. On that note, I think this is enough for today. I think I've had enough. I think you've had enough. And I think we all collectively have had enough of this. And before I finish up this video, just a little disclaimer. This is all for pure and utter entertainment. Do not take any of this seriously. If I didn't like a book and you loved it, good for you. If I loved a book and you didn't like it, good for fucking me. And that's why we all have different opinions. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, don't forget to follow me on my book talk for more book reviews. And also don't forget to follow me on my Instagram for more day-to-day life. And happy reading. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Why do I feel like I'm gonna get canceled and dragged for this one? Y'all better be nice, because I'm like that meme. This is my opinion. You know that meme? That's my opinion! Anyway.